EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the Sunshine State and Everbank Stadium here in Jacksonville. Here's the rookie from Arkansas, Cam Little, ready to get us started.
And off we go from Jacksonville.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. On the ground, it's the rookie from Tennessee. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll keep it on the ground. Sampson, a pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Sanders.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Breaks a tackle. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 19-yard line.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep, and that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12.
Running out of the gun with ETN. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Flushed out right. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a 1st down.
Now Lawrence.
He finds his man, complete. It's Hunter. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 25 yards there on the catch and run. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 32-yard line.
A give running right, ETN. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 8. Now Lawrence. He'll get that underneath ETN.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Here's a give to ETN.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Now Thomas will come in motion right. Throw left. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Browns. Here's Sanders. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Not much there, only a yard. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. 2nd and 9 now. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That burst good for 20 and a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Into the hands of Cedric Tillman.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 43. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
This is all about finding the open space in the middle of the field. How do you do that? One way is through play action. That's going to freeze those linebackers for just a split second, and sometimes that's all you need. They run a deep in route behind them, and it works to perfection.
And we're down to the 41.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Sanders.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies are trying to force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
Here's Corey Bojorquez now to punt this one away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we'll put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series. One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
On play action, Lawrence.
He's going to try and go deep again. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Here's Lawrence. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17.
And that's a much-needed completion right there on 3rd down. Really a sigh of relief, isn't it? They're backed up deep. You know they don't want to give the ball back to the other guys with great field position. They needed that throw, that completion, that first down.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hunter. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
A handoff for Etienne.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense because, to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
3rd down and 6. Lawrence will throw.
And this one is incomplete.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
So on 4th down, here's Logan Cook to punt for Jacksonville. DeAndre Carter back deep. .42-yard punt, 6 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And now the Browns coming out on the field.
We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. Sanders.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Right back to him on first down.
They'll get this up at the 47 and brought down there.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football. The Browns on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Sanders. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up, and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the first down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to air one out. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
As we've seen, their first 2 drives didn't yield anything points-wise. Certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
Now a 2nd and 10.
In motion, the tight end. On second down, they'll run it here.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Out of the gun now on third down.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 28.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
But Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
Ball on the 27. Here's second down.
They'll keep it on the ground. Sampson trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll come up now 3rd and 9.
Back to throw. Sanders.
And that's going to be incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out.
Hopkins' kick is good.
And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. Man open left side is Brown. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
ETN up the middle.
Able to slither by.
And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Lawrence to throw.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Brian Thomas.
57 yards. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. They'll start this drive out on the ground. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29.
Looking to throw. Sanders.
Pass caught. He's got Tillman.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
Back to throw. Sanders.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
Looking to throw. Sanders.
He's got Njoku, his big tight end.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Browns have retaken the lead. You talk about certain guys just having a nose for the end zone. He's one of them, and he was not going to be denied there.
And defensively, especially in the red zone, you've got to be able to at least slow him down and hold on for dear life. But he's able to get out of a couple of tackles there, and not enough people got there in time. Pretty poor on that defensive side of the ball.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here.
As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there? And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Straight ahead, Etienne. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Now Lawrence to throw. That is caught. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And maybe that touchdown on the previous drive has re-energized this offense a little bit. They've been kind of sluggish until then, but they're showing signs of life here, and they get good yardage that time and a first down.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
He completes it to Hunter. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will. In motion left comes Brown.
Lawrence. He'll find ETN out of the backfield.
Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Looking to throw again on second down.
Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to ETN.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
But they've certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Throwing again here. It's Lawrence.
Got a man. It's Brown. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Second down and 3.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Screen play. Here's ETN.
Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass. And sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
Now Lawrence. He's got his target. That's complete.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Again, it's Lawrence.
He's got it. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Keep in mind they can still get a first down here as they come up on 2nd and inches.
Now Lawrence.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Myles Garrett. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This is a 26-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And that will knot us up at 10. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Browns going to go on offense one final time in this first half.
And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 2nd down, ETN once more.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll come up now, 3rd and 3.
Back to throw. Lawrence. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
A Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And a short pickup to about the 25.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
From the 25, here's 2nd down and 7.
They'll keep it on the ground. Sampson, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up.
Here's 3rd and 6.
Looking to throw. Sanders. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, and that gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They'll run on first down. Sampson, they'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he is going to have a Browns first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
On first down, Sampson. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
9-yard line, 2nd and 6.
In motion goes the tight end.
So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
They'll keep it on the ground. Sampson, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
They'll try to run this one in. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Good work there, holding him out on 1st down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
2nd and goal from the 1. And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Sanders. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny, we had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Jaguars getting set to go.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Now ETN to start the drive. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles, and really scatter some people, can't they?
This will be caught by Brown.
He's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. And that one on the rookie, Charles, maybe a little too overeager.
You know how many times we talk about the quarterback having to have a clock in his head and make sure the ball gets away before the rush gets there? When you're a pass rusher, you have to know when the ball is gone and make sure you don't hit the quarterback afterwards. I know he was trying to make a play, but that time he ends up drawing the flag.
They'll run. It's ETN.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Another tote for ETN.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
A give to ETN running right. Down to about the 23.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. They'll try the left side with ETN.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything, change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And his kick here is good. And that's going to tie us at 13. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive, capture the field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
All square now at 13-all as he sends this one away.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
2nd and 9 now.
And a quick throw here, that's complete.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters.
You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now in Jacksonville.
The Browns on 3rd down. Well, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This is 3rd and 7. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Josh Hines-Allen just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage. But right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward. And how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
This is the tight end, Njoku.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. I think you could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
The Browns send out their punter now. They'll boot it away from about his 35.
And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline.
And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10.
Right at the 30.
They'll look to ETN to start things out.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Devin Bush sprinting behind the line to track down the ball carrier.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
They'll run with ETN.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Operating from the gun, Sanders. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
2nd and 10. Now an option play, and he'll keep it.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now Sanders from the gun on 3rd down.
Open man, he completes it to Judy. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. Operating from the gun, Sanders.
Over the middle, complete to Judy.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So from the 26-yard line, here's a 2nd and 4. Right back to Judy, and it's complete.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and off the play action, he'll look to throw it.
Eluding the pressure right. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here.
Operating from the gun, Sanders firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And the Browns are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Sanders. This is caught. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Back to throw. Sanders. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Browns have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th. Obviously a huge touchdown for their team, but a big touchdown for a rookie quarterback here to be able to break the tie in the 4th quarter.
And he just shook off all the pressure, too, because when you think about it, tie ball game, rookie quarterback, most of them are thinking, don't make a mistake. Instead, this young man just said, I'll make a play.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Jaguars again ready to take over on offense. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence.
And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
And they'll run here with Etienne.
And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a 1st down.
In motion right here, Hunter.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And they'll go again with Etienne.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Lawrence will throw.
And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the fourth.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Back to throw. Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now 2nd and 4. Throwing now, Lawrence.
Steps away to his left. Past the 20.
They're trying to tiptoe the pylon, but they're going to say he stepped out at the 1-yard line.
Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we...
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out.
And the Jaguars are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. Open man, that's Tillman.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Not good. They didn't move the football an inch, and precious time ticking off the clock.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
Back to throw again. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
A big play here. Crowd on their feet. 3rd and 4.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Joshua Hines-Allen, his 2nd sack of the night.
And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout.
So it's the Browns who are going to get possession first here in overtime as the kick's away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Browns drive about to get started.
They'll start with a quick throw complete out to the right. Opening drive of overtime. Both teams will get a possession, barring a defensive score. Here's second down.
Up the middle they go. Sampson. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off play action. Sanders. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
From the 42-yard line, here's a 2nd and 7.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
Devon Hamilton with the tackle.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman, the ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Now a handoff up the middle. Sampson. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 39.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down.
84 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll run on first down. Sampson. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now 2nd and 3.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Shaping up to be a very efficient opening drive here in overtime.
And can you feel the tension building? Because I'm feeling it. All right, I've got the sweaty palms here with each play because of the enormity of what's going on. Each play means so much in overtime, and they're handling it well as this drive continues.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
Remember, again, a touchdown wouldn't win it just yet, but it can give them a big leg up. It's second down.
On second down, they'll run it here. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
To throw is Sanders. From the gun on third down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So on comes the kicker, Dustin Hopkins, in a big spot. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. Hopkins' kick is good, and they have regained the lead. So they do get the short field goal here to get them the all-important overtime lead. But, Charles, you wonder if they'll wind up ruining the fact that they were able to get down into the red zone, yet not able to find the touchdown that would have won them the game.
Brandon, you're absolutely right. In overtime, when you get the ball first, the hope is your opponents never see the football. But now they're going to get a drive to try and win it, or at least keep the game alive with a field goal. And I'm getting a dictionary out to look up ruin.
And able to get this out to the 25.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime, or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, and I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just keep playing, right? Overtime gets extended. But if you give up the touchdown, it's game over. So on offense, every play you make, you've got to try and get just a little bit more out of each one in order to try and get to the end zone because they're going to play everyone back, keep everything in front.
So a little chunk there on first as they try to chip away down 3 in overtime.
I like your description. Chip away, down 3. You don't have to get it all in one big play, although obviously that would be nice. But there's no need to have that type of risk associated with it. Run your offense, get first downs, get yourself in a position where you know you're going to at least get 3 and keep this game going. If you get 6, so much the better.
66 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Now we'll see what Lawrence can do in overtime. They'll drop that underneath to ETN.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Partner, this is a pretty good drive they're putting together, and I know if I'm on the other sideline, that offense, kind of helpless, isn't it? Because they may not touch the football at all because if they go down and score a touchdown, this thing's over.
Absolutely. That would write an ending to this script. We'll see what happens.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
Myles Garrett showing that athleticism as he gets in to make the play.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Lawrence, now this is ETN on the draw.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
And that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially keep this game alive in OT. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here in OT. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to keep the game alive. And he got it. It's good. They answer with a field goal of their own to send this game into sudden death. Well, this one certainly has not lacked for intrigue. And let's keep playing. What do you say?
Fine by me. I'm loving what we're seeing here. This is a heck of a game. And now, guess what? A kicker may decide it again, and the next one that does it wins it.
Will 3 points be enough to do it? We'll soon know as we continue here in overtime. He's to midfield. Still going past the 30. There are no flags. He's into the end zone.
Touchdown.
And an amazing return wins it in OT.
And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
Oh, the trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full of confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com.